Hi, Morgan and Aaron. When you hear that Mexican drug cartels have set up business in our national forests, you know it can't be a good thing. They are making millions of dollars by using the land set aside for the public, but maybe we should do that again.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should.
Sorry, I was surprised myself. Okay.
What just happened there?
I could do better.
In 5, 4, 3.
Hi, Morgan and Aaron. When you hear that Mexican drug cartels have set up business in our national forests, you know it can't be a good thing. They are making millions of dollars by using land set aside for the public. But the far-ranging consequences are worse than you might even imagine. Not only are they poisoning wildlife and stealing millions of gallons of water, they have been ground zero for some of California's most devastating wildfires. No, southern. Southern. I'll tell you in a second. Hey there, Allison. When you hear that Mexican drug cartels have set up business in our national forest, you know it can't be a good thing. They are making millions of dollars by using land set aside for the public, but the far-ranging consequences are worse than you might imagine. Not only are they poisoning wildlife and stealing millions of gallons of water, they have been ground zero for some of California's most devastating wildfires.
Stand by, back live.
Back now, 8:13, with a growing problem that has far-reaching consequences. We're talking about drug trafficking organizations now doing business in our national forests, exploiting public land to illegally grow marijuana.
Yeah, California has been hit especially hard. In fact, Forest Service agents are telling NBC News that as resources are stretched thin because of the state's wildfires, Mexican drug traffickers and others have been emboldened to actually expand their operations.
NBC senior investigative correspondent Cynthia McFadden is on this. It's an exclusive investigation. Hey, Cynthia.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, when you hear that Mexican drug cartels have set up business in our national forests, you know it can't be a good thing. They are making millions, tens of millions of dollars by using land set aside for the public. But the far-ranging consequences are worse than you might even imagine. Not only are they poisoning wildlife and stealing millions of gallons of water, they've been ground zero for some of California's devastating fires. Here in Southern California, the U.S. Forest Service is tackling a problem so alarming, they want the public to see what they're up against. A dangerous cat-and-mouse battle with ruthless Mexican drug cartels that are running hundreds, perhaps thousands of illegal marijuana farms on federal forest land and making hundreds of millions of dollars in the process, far from prying eyes. It's become such a problem, the Forest Service invited us to take a look.
You can see the terracing of the grow.
But to really see it, you have to get down there. And that involves a certain degree of risk.
These guys are going to go ahead of us to make sure we're safe?
Yep, okay. The trail is 2.5 miles through dense forest. So, okay, I'm not liking my chances here. The first 500 feet, straight down. Everyone else here is a pro, like Dr. Murad Gabriel, a wildlife biologist for the Forest Service. His team's mission is to locate, bust, and clean up these illegal grows. So what do we got here?
An old cooler, and then here is the oil and gas that they use.
He says for years now, the cartels have siphoned off precious public water, poisoned wildlife, and wreaked environmental havoc, mostly unhindered.
So right up the straw was 1.8 million gallons of water that was poached from it.
For just this one
grow.
And this is in a state that already has a water problem.
Absolutely.
We finally come to a grow site that the Forest Service raided a month ago. So this is the camp, huh?
It's pretty much a tunnel of trash.
Littered with toxic pesticides, many illegal in the U.S.
This is in highly concentrated form, so you would dilute this probably 100-fold before you would actually use it.
But they're not doing that.
No, absolutely not.
Dr. Greta Wengert is here to inventory the environmental damage.
Deer coming into their crops, bears coming into their camps. They will actually use these to directly poison the wildlife. Mix it with some tuna fish, put it on the edge of your grow, an animal comes in, eats it, and dies within 2 minutes.
In fact, the amount of pesticides found at just this site are potent enough to kill dozens of people.
These are some of the most toxic chemicals you could ever use on crops.
Another concern, the pesticides don't stay put.
This is sandy soil. The next heavy precipitation event is just going to slough all this off into the San Juan Creek. Over 50% of California's water originates on national forest lands. So this site is supporting municipalities where people drink their water.
Which makes it even more urgent that sites like this be shut down and cleaned up. But can they be?
We have the will as an agency to do this day in, day out, every day.
What they don't have is money. In recent years, the agency's budget for this work has barely budged. As for the cartels, they appear undeterred.
One drug trafficking organization can invest, let's say, $250,000, $500,000 into one grow, and then pull out a 200 to 300% net gain from that.
So if they lose a few of them along the way, it's a cost of doing business.
Absolutely.
And there's another big problem: fire. We've seen cook stoves, we've seen all of these chemicals which are highly flammable.
Basically, during the summer season, this is a tinder block.
Like last year, the deadly Dolan fire in Big Sur started at an illegal grow site, one of at least a dozen forest fires linked to sites like these since 2009.
The Dolan fire last year, it burned through an iconic international landscape, Big Sur. It killed 11 endangered condors. It overran firefighters. I mean, it's just a nightmare.
Rich McIntyre runs the Crop Project, a not-for-profit fighting to keep illegal marijuana grows off public lands.
There's one law enforcement officer for every 250,000 acres in California. So they need more boots on the ground, and they need reclamation dollars so that organizations can do the cleanup work that needs to be done. Without substantial funding, it's whack-a-mole.
All right, so if you had to put a price tag on it,
it's probably going to take $50 to $100 million to clean up all the public land grows in California alone.
McIntyre and others are pushing Congress to appropriate at least that much over the next 5 to 8 years.
We are one campfire, one drop cigarette, one getaway fire in a trespass grow away from a landscape fire that could burn 1 million acres. And when that happens, we lose that public resource for an entire generation.
Well, the Forest Service is really trying. On the day we were with them, they pulled out over a ton of trash, more than half a mile of irrigation piping, and hundreds of pounds of fertilizer, and bottle after bottle of banned pesticides. Now, one of more than 40 sites that's been cleaned up in California alone this year.
Well, they said they have the desire to clean it up. They need the money. So are they going to get it?
Yeah, well, and, you know, with more forest fires, they have fewer resources to do this. So this week is maybe critical. Congress has not passed their annual appropriations bill yet, but the House is recommending an increased budget for the Forest Service, in part so they can tackle this issue more effectively.
It's so outrageous on so many levels. The fact that there are drug cartels on our public land ravaging the land. It's
and the wildlife.
Despicable.
The wildlife.
Well, and the water is such a crucial issue as well.
So they siphon it off the river? Is that?
Yeah, there was all those pipes you saw, and it was really an amazing operation. They come in with the helicopters and lug them all out.
Yeah. What was equally amazing? Seeing you rappel down that.
Let me just say, you only saw a little bit of it because it was not pretty much of it.
But you got amazing.
There. I did it.
You did
what
it.
I do for you people.
Of course you did.
You'll go wherever the story is.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.